Hey, look at this video from Air Force One. Donald Trump is asked about Iran, and he basically says, I'm going to let Israel do the heavy lifting. Take a look.
Is better than a ceasefire. What are you looking for here?
A real end, not a ceasefire. An end.
So something that will be permanent.
Or giving up entirely. That's okay too.
Are you close there? Is that possible in the next 24, 48 hours?
It's certainly possible. Complete give up. That's possible, yeah.
Has the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and the Secretary of Defense drawn up plans for you if Iran were to attack U.S. bases or do any damage to U.S. bases?
Just can't do it.
Can I ask you, because there's been some skepticism, is there any guarantee that if the U.S. did get involved militarily, that a U.S. bomb could destroy Iran's nuclear program and facilities?
Everything or anything on life, you know that. Look at you, right? There's no guarantee. But you're saying a guarantee on what?
Do you think if the U.S. got involved militarily, it would actually wipe out Iran's nuclear program? Or where's your assessment of that?
I hope their program's going to be wiped out long before that. But they're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
And in terms of BBs, do you have any reason to believe the Israelis are going to slow down, or are they going to hit the accelerator right now because they've got superiority?
Yeah, over the next 2 days, right? You're going to find out.
Has the Gang of Eight,
Nobody's slowed up so far.
has the Gang of Eight been notified about what's coming in the next couple days?
We'll be talking to them, but what can you do? It's not necessary.
I don't understand how Trump's position there can be criticized by my friends in America First. I do have a lot of friends in America First who are American. I'm a Canadian who sympathizes with that because America First makes the world a safer place, especially for freedom and democracy. We benefit from it here in Canada, that's for sure. Imagine if Kamala Harris or even Barack Obama were still in power. But I want to say a few things to my MAGA friends that maybe they've forgotten, and I know it's a bit audacious for a foreigner like me to mention it, but maybe I've got a little bit of distance because I'm not actually in the thick of it. The first thing I'd say is, for 15 years, Donald Trump has said Iran simply cannot be allowed to have nuclear weapons. He has said it easily 100 times. Seriously, just search for the word Iran on Donald Trump's X feed, and you will get countless hits. He's been saying the same thing since long before he was in office. Here's a quick video montage, too.
You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Everybody stopped. They were ready to make a deal. We would have made a deal that was great for everybody. No nuclear weapons. You can't give them nuclear weapons. Now they're going to have a nuclear weapon. Don't let Iran have nuclear weapons. That's my only thing I have to tell you today. Don't let them have it. They would have never had them, including Iran. They can't have a nuclear weapon. That's all. They can't have nuclear weapons. I wanted to make a deal with them. No nuclear weapons. You can't have nuclear weapons. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. That was the only thing. I just didn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I said, we're going to make a great deal. Everybody's going to be happy. You're going to be rich as hell again. Everything's going to be great. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. Peace deal. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. But they cannot have a nuclear weapon. I want to make a deal with Iran. I want to do something if it's possible. But for that to happen, it must stop sponsoring terror, halt its bloody proxy wars, and permanently and verifiably cease its pursuit of nuclear weapons. They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
So I don't think anyone who has followed Trump, like my MAGA friends, can possibly be surprised by Trump's position. But let me say this in defense of isolationism and pacifism. Trump engaged in good faith negotiations with Iran anyways, even though he said he cannot accept any other outcome other than disarmament of those nukes. He still set aside a 60-day period where he negotiated in good faith, during which time Trump stopped Israel from attacking Iran, even though Iran had sent countless missiles to Israel, either directly or through their proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. Now, Iran refused to do a deal. So on the 61st day, Trump kept his promise. He permitted Israel to take out Iran's nuclear missile threat, as well as the leadership of the Republican Guard Corps terrorist group, which, by the way, just happens to benefit every other state in the region, too. Arab states like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. If you take a look, the price of oil, you'd think the price of oil would have skyrocketed in the last few days. Israel attacked on June 13th. Actually, oil is steady at around $75 a barrel, which tells you the world thinks it's going to be a safer, more stable place. There's no World War III. And I see in Bloomberg today that Russia has confirmed they're going to sit this one out. They've got their hands full in Ukraine right now. They're not particularly going to come to the aid of a stumbling Iranian regime. I think the most important thing to realize is the plainest fact of all. There are no American boots on the ground. And so far, Iran has shown the discipline not to fire a shot at U.S. personnel. I have a prediction. I think that once Iran is either neutered in its nuclear ambitions and its missile ambitions, or if there's regime change, by the way, that's a possibility in Iran. It's not a desert backwater like Afghanistan. It's not thoroughly destroyed by ISIS like Syria. Iran is a great civilization. It's educated, it's modern, and most of its people are secular. They hate the Ayatollahs. It used to be a robust Western-oriented country that has been chafing at the Islamists who've been running it, the cult that's been running it. I think Iran actually has a future, and there's a person to do it. People say, who's the George Washington in the Middle East? Well, his name is Reza Pahlavi. He's the son of the Shah. That's who. I have a prediction that no matter which way Iran goes, if it's a neutered Ayatollah-run theocracy or if actually it goes back to their king, I predict that there will be another round of Abraham Accord peace treaties within a year, including Saudi Arabia and maybe even Lebanon. By taking out the big bully who was threatening with nukes, I think the entire region has a new chance, and Russia and China are not interfering. For those who wonder if Iran is an enemy of America, Iran's de facto motto for more than 40 years has been death to America. They call Israel the little Satan, but America is the great Satan. Through Hezbollah, which is run by Iran, they murdered in a single attack 241 U.S. Marines in Beirut. Don't confuse being America first with pacifism or appeasement. That's not what America first means, at least not to me on the outside looking in. Hey, by the way, looking at the last week or so, what lessons do you think China and Russia are taking? That America is strong or weak? That when Trump says do a deal, you should listen or not? I think in the last week, through Israeli military action, America has become immensely stronger, at least in the minds of Russia and China. Hey, listen, don't oversample extremely online, Qatar-sponsored Twitter pundits. They're not the Republican Party base. As we saw in a Wall Street Journal expose, they're actually just on the Qatar payroll. I admire President Trump because he's making America stronger. He's ending wars even before they start. I think that the whole world is safer because of it, including us here in Canada. But for those who have been MAGA all the time, this is exactly what you voted for.